just like 11, and my nose bleeds. If you asked me something, then what would it be?
I cannot believe it's been about a year since I posted my last YouTube video. So much has happened in a year. The last video that I posted was just all the houses that I saw, and then I left you guys on this big teaser of, oh, which house did I pick? But then genuinely, when we closed on the house and then moving in, my life has just been so chaotic and crazy. And then I started construction on the house, and then that was an entire like 5-month process, but it was supposed to take like 3 months, and there's just like a bunch of like random things happening simultaneously of like trying to fix the different leaks at the house and like manage different things that just happen and break at a really old house. I remember a few years ago I was visiting my friend's sister's beautiful Victorian house in San Francisco, and it was just like everything you could imagine out of just like this fantasy of what it means to own a house in the city. She just seemed so upset with her decision to buy a house, and I did not understand why at that time. I was like, how could you be upset owning a house? Like, you own this beautiful property in like one of the best cities ever, in my favorite neighborhood as well. And she was just like talking about how the house just had so much work that had to be done that it almost didn't feel worth buying. And I didn't know what she meant until I went through this process. Just to give you some quick background, I bought a really old house. This house is almost 100 years old. It wasn't maintained well at all. Like, the owner didn't live there, and so there was not a lot of like the day-to-day logistics of just housekeeping that had been done. And so a lot of things over time obviously just atrophy and die, and there was just like a lot of things that were just like breaking apart amongst like different issues with pests. And I didn't have any AC when I moved in, which was fine because I moved in around March, but New York gets very hot super quickly. So around June I was dying, you guys, which is why I wrote my Substack article of air conditioning and attachment issues, because the way I was hopping between every single like situationship's apartment just to have AC, that was like my life, like all of the summer, because I didn't have AC in the house. I didn't even know how to fix an AC machine. I don't even know where to like buy one or how to properly install one, and like understanding the wattages of like the new machines versus like what the house is set up with. And it's just like a lot of little things like that I was just so ill prepared for. I had no idea what the heck I was doing. For the first time in my life, I experienced a lot of financial anxiety, in the sense that owning a house, every single decision that you make costs a bunch of money, especially when you live in the state of New York. Everything requires some sort of insurance, approval, and then you're also just like getting gypped like left and right by all these different contractors. You don't know who to trust. In the beginning of the process, I just had like so much anxiety of like, am I making the right decision? And like, if I'm not making the right decision, then this decision is gonna cost me over like $5,000. And so I was just like so scared and so stressed, and I didn't know who I could trust. And also, I don't know a lot of people who have gone through a process like this. The only other person that I know is Vincent. I'm gonna link Vincent's video here because it's a lot better when it comes to like financials and financial breakdowns. He's a financial creator. Just to put it out there, I also invested into a multi-unit. So yeah, I've decided to split this up into 3 parts. This is the first part of it where you'll see like closing day and the initial move-in, and then the second part I'll talk a lot about the construction and the construction process of renovating a really old house, and then the last will be a like house tour / reveal of like what I had been working on for the last year. And I'll talk a little bit more through like the finances and what I felt like was worth it and what wasn't worth it, and what I wish I knew going into this process if I were to do it all over again. I have really been beating myself up over like not posting content, but genuinely when it comes to any kind of home renovation, that thing will suck you into its black hole. Thank you for being patient with me. I'm so sorry that I've been gone for so long. I'm pretty happy with the way that things turned out, minus like a few small things, which I'll tell you guys about later. Welcome to the 3-part series of Homeownership is Not Romantic. That shit was so hard. The day before closing and actual closing day were so chaotic, so I don't have that much footage. It was my first time going through a closing process like this with my lawyer and the seller's lawyer, and everyone is just involved and you're signing a bunch of papers. Right after closing, I rushed over to my storage unit so that I could meet with Roadway, who was helping me move during this time. I want to properly address this part later, so just bear with me for now while I work through just the chaos of all of this footage and trying to explain this process to you. Essentially, this building had 2 empty units, One of them was completely demolished. It had absolutely nothing, like no plumbing, no walls, no electricity. And then the other unit, which is the one that I'm moving into now, had sat empty for the last 5 or 6 years. I don't remember exactly. No one had resided here, so it was super dirty. It was really gross. The air was stale. There was dust everywhere and debris. It was not well cared for given the circumstances. Luckily, I had my mom help me clean and unpack, and I also hired my cleaners to come to do the first pass. I only had 2 days to settle in and get everything in kind of the right area, but not fully unpacked, because I had to fly to LA for a work trip for HarperCollins Shelves in the City. Right after that, I had a trip planned to Korea for an entire month to spend time with my family. A few hours after I landed from Korea, I had to go to a wedding because I was a bridesmaid for my high school best friend. Right after that, I think I had like 2 days before I had to fly to Houston to celebrate my other high school friend's graduation for her law degree. And then I came back to New York City almost 2 months later to finally unpack and truly just settle into this unit. I received these seeds when I was at this makgeolli bar in Korea, so I'm going to try to plant them now. I remember when I came back to this apartment, I was freaking out because there had been so many ants and bugs and just like random little critters and pests that I didn't know how to address because I don't have contacts for an exterminator. I was just freaking out. The weather in New York City had changed very abruptly within the 2 months that I was gone. Because my house had essentially been abandoned for many, many years, the backyard was so undertended that it had just grown into this insane forest. So all of the bugs were just coming back to life and finding their way into the apartment. The most annoying part was that I had this really bad ant problem that I didn't know how to solve. So I was setting out a bunch of different traps for ants. Moving here, I really didn't have any of my furniture because I sold all of it. I didn't have a couch. I didn't have any kind of storage material. Just my piano, my bed, my knickknacks, and my books. I'm also the type of person where I need to ferociously settle in very quickly because I cannot operate under a mess. Oh my god, oh no.
The mission for today is Ashley's shelving system over here by Burrow. The time is ticking. We're gonna try and see if we can get them done in 20 minutes, which would be like all-time record time. So here we go. Timer starts now. Okay.
I can go on walking when I'm sound asleep. I can lose myself that way. Wanna see from the bright side. Keep my head in the game. Be a shaker out in the land of the living.
Simultaneously, while I'm settling in, I'm trying to find the right contractors to do the construction for the next door unit. I grabbed, I think, 5 quotes, which means I met with 5 different contractors and had to go through this very tedious process of comparing all the numbers and the costs for everything. I'll talk about this more in another video, but essentially anytime you do construction in New York that isn't just any cosmetic kind of stuff, you have to submit it to the government has to approve it. Even submitting these files to have it approved costs thousands and thousands of dollars, and every time you make any kind of correction, it tacks on more money. And so during this process, I was just so stressed trying to learn this entire process very quickly and also make sure that I'm getting the most out of my money. I'm also finalizing a lot of the drawings with my architect. When you have an architect plan and then you pass it over to your contractors who will actually do the work of building it, there is very little room for you to change anything. And so this just takes a lot of time to think about a space in a home and how you're going to live in it and how you'll move in it. I was so nervous all the time that I was making the wrong decision or that I was forgetting to think about something, and just the anxiety of like, oh, I feel like I'm forgetting something, it ate me up alive. I was really grateful to be able to lean on you guys to compare and contrast all the different architect floor plans that we had made. Having someone to go back and forth with about a layout, nonetheless a layout that's particularly a bit awkward, was something that I really valued, because a handful of you know what it's like to live in a very crunched and small city like New York, where the layout is off or particular things like having a lot of storage matters. I was really happy to have a community of people to ask back and forth questions and to do a lot of A/B testing on the different floor plans. Something I regret is not keeping up my community with the design process when it came to picking out all the fun stuff of the interiors of the house. I think I was just at a point where I felt incredibly overwhelmed by this entire thing, and made myself feel bad for feeling overwhelmed, because it's not like I was a literal contractor in the sense that I'm on my hands and knees building a house, but it was the first time that I had hit a wall with making decisions where it felt like I had to make decisions very quickly and I had to make it right the first time around, and or the consequence of not doing that just felt too high. So I think I was just in this constant cycle of being really stressed and strung out, and it really burned out a lot of my creative ambition, which was essentially why I just completely disappeared from the internet and from making content, besides a few sponsored posts that I had to make. And honestly, even the experience of making content for a brand or because it's a sponsor also negatively impacted my relationship with content and my desire of doing things for fun and as a creative expression, or to tell a story or to document a huge moment in my life. All to say, I think I just spent the last few months in a very weird phase of my life where I wasn't really creatively producing anything, but trying to do whatever it took just to feel grounded and happy. And a lot of that was having my friends visit. I think taking a huge step back from content and then coming back to stitch together all the work that I've recorded to be able to show you and be able to be in this place to tell you exactly what was happening. It feels more powerful in the sense that I'm in a better headspace to tell you the story of this period of my life. This brings us to the end of part 1 of Homeownership is Not Romantic. If you have any questions about the process, I will build in a Q&A section while I'm editing my second part. Thank you so much for being patient with me and for supporting me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.